some, there's fear in black freedom. And there's fear in it because you just never know what a black person, when they use their freedom, what it's actually going to entail, what's going to happen. And this is where you see this issue with Ice Cube and 50 Cent and any of the black folks who are basically stepping up and saying, hey, I'm making a decision here, and I'm basically going to go against the grain. Why is there a grain? Like, why is there why is there this assumption that I'm going to be voting, believing, acting, and using my vote for specific things that are, ascribed to me because of what I look like? And these guys, I mean, they're getting filleted. They're going to get filleted. I got filleted, because, I'm going against the grain as well, too. Had black people telling me all kinds of stuff, and Mexicans, white people saying the same thing, saying some really racist things. And they'll say that about, Ice Cube and the like. But why is it so important to keep a black person from just exercising their own freedom? Well, the reason why that's necessary is because that's what's been taught. That's actually what black people have been taught. You do this, and you will not receive punishment. Does that sound familiar to you? You act this way, you won't get punished. You think and do these things, you won't get punished. You stay within these educational bounds and boundaries, and don't go outside of it, and you won't receive punishment. You'll be okay. Because I've told you what you need to believe, and I told you what you need to do, and I told you how you're going to succeed because it's a part of my frame. Well, you think about who is saying that. Who's saying, you better obey me. And why does that sound familiar? Because that's actually slavery. That's not physical slavery, well, at least a physical slavery, because there's black folks who will not reach outside of that because it just is scary, but they'll stay within what's called the black neighborhoods, or they'll stay within the black realm of entertainment or black sports, or not go out and become a black business owner or the like. Even if they're a pastor, they won't speak into the black liberation theology or critical race theory. They'll actually just go to the cross, like a voting. They'll talk about the truth of Scripture. Well, that's slavery, and that's coming from one side. Now, it's not saying that it didn't come from the other side as well, but it literally, it's coming from one side right now. And I felt it. And why am I saying that? Because I felt it. I saw it. I've endured it. I've gone through it. And these black folks right now are going to go through the same exact thing. You better follow through and do what I tell you to do, or Massa going to get you. Massa and all the people who are aligned with Massa are going to hurt you. Because that's what our right is. It's our right to control you as a black population, as a minority population, as those individuals who have a darker skin color. You better follow through, and you better do what I tell you to do. Or you will be that Uncle Tom. You will be that nigger. You will be that, house nigger. You will be all those things. And those folks will be free to call you that because they've already said it within themselves that that's my right to call you that. Do you understand that that's coming from blacks, from Mexicans, from Asians, from anybody, and white people? Because they believe that that's their right. And that's one of the second piece I want to get into here, because I'm going to call Ice Cube and 50 and all these other people, they call me that stuff. They call all this. I've seen black folks, even on my feed, people who are my friends, call Candace Owens a coon. I've seen them do that. And these folks, they it's like, these are black people doing it. Older black people doing it. It is what it is. But this is what I want to get to the second point. The second point is, there are some people who are happiest when they are controlling others. They are only happy when they are in control. If they're not in control, they are some unhappy people, and they have some issues on the inside. It's all about the control. And what's unfortunate about that is that's a mentality and a real I guess you say it's a blind spot in a person's ego, that they think that they're responsible for other people to make people do what they want, and that they have a right to do so. And that's unfortunate, because that leads them to become very unhealthy people. And that's what's so scary about freedom, is that there's folks out there who use their freedom to run up against other people and to limit their freedom. So that's why you have our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, because you see where the tension is in laws, and where those laws should be, used for the public's good, but then also where some laws are used to the detriment of the public. And you see that here in California, where a person who believes that they have the right to tell people what they should and should not be able to do. I mean, look at what's happening with Disneyland. Any other theme parks here, you cannot open unless, you go down to the yellow tier. I mean, they built this whole thing up around this whole idea about safety, even though the scientific, information that's coming out is showing that these things aren't what they're saying it is. You can't even look at the science now. The science is not agreeing with this ideology of control. You need to understand these things, because if you don't, you'll be talking to somebody who you think is just like a regular person, but this person will have control issues. And you see that even in relationships. You have people who want to control the male, they want to control the masculine, and they want to infuse a toxic femininity. There's one for you, because they believe that toxic masculinity is why our society is the way it is. There's a whole friggin' this whole weird thing that's happening right now, where people just gotta understand there's some folks out there that got some weird ideas about society. But let me get back to this, okay? There are folks out there who need to control the people. I mean, I dealt with this when I was younger, okay? There was some people in my life who wanted to control me, and I'm not gonna be freaking controlled. I'm not. In fact, you want to see the rubble come out of me? You tell me something freaking crazy. I mean, I had to leave even one job because some folks wanted to control me about some stuff and tell me that I had to do something. I wasn't going to do it, and I got in trouble for it. And then I had to go this whole process, and still to this day, folks don't even know what really happened. I'll leave it at that, because some of you may know what I'm talking about. But some people, they do want to control, and they do want to use their power, their position, their influence to make people do what they want them to do. And this is what I'm trying to offer you. It's a choice, okay? People like me are out there that understand that everybody gets to make their choice. What I'm trying to do is try to infuse in you that you have the ability to look into the information that someone like me will talk about, someone like any other thought leaders will talk about. And what they'll do is they'll just say, look for yourself. Find out for yourself. Maybe you just have an animus toward an individual. Maybe you just hate Orange Man, okay? Well, whether or not you hate him, are you looking at policies or not? Are you actually looking to see what a dude's actually done? Or is it he's just racist, okay? And then that whole thing comes up. I'm just asking, all I've asked you to do is choose, but to think through your choice, to critically go through the information and find out what's really going on your own, versus being told by this massive machine that's working against the American public, so that people who are in high positions can hold their secrets real close to their chest, because they've got secrets and they don't want those secrets to come out. This is why this Hunter Biden thing is so important. But this is what I want you to do, is I just want you to understand that people, when they look at black folks, they don't know what black people are going to end up doing. They're scared about that. And so when you see somebody like myself that's saying, hey, I'm not going with the mainstream and I'm not going to be afraid to speak out about it, then you see what happens. We get shut down, we get censored. I got folks who are trying to, keep my posts from getting posted and stuff. I mean, people do that all the time with me now. And the moment that it happened was when I talked about BLM and when I talked about this child trafficking stuff. Folks started throttling my posts, and it's like, yeah, they're reporting me. Okay, why? Because I'm saying something that's true, that they don't want it to be out. This is what happens with Google, with Facebook, with YouTube, and all that. It's all happening there. But you have a choice here. Think critically through what you're hearing. Think critically about what you're receiving, and think critically about what you're believing. Because those folks on that couch, you have that choice. You still have that choice right now. For the next week and a half, you still have that choice. Because those folks on the TV, they're salivating at the opportunity to control you. They are waiting to take control of all aspects of you. From your faith, from your family, from your freedom, how you go to and from, even how you drive and what you eat. You better believe that, because really, they talk about cow farts and all that. You better understand what they're saying. They don't want you doing what they don't want you to do.